Okay, we are back with another watchOS 26.1 beta video, this time for beta 2, 2 weeks after Apple dropped the initial beta, and again, unfortunately, this seems like it is going to be somewhat underwhelming. If you are already on the beta program, obviously you probably will want to go ahead and update to this, but you would know battery life starting off strong in that first beta, hopefully will continue that trend here with beta 2. So we just finished installing, obviously, and we will do our normal jump around here in a second to make sure everything is working as anticipated. But first, let's go ahead and jump into settings, general, and about, and take a look at what build number we have here. And in this case, as you can see, we now have a D build with a full build number of 23S5017D. The good thing about this is that already 2 betas in, having a D build, because this is working as Apple has anticipated and should be ready to go here in the near future, and we'll talk about the release schedule in 1 second. But first things first, again, as you saw, no new watch faces, unsurprisingly, as Apple just released those 3 new ones with the new watch Series 11 and Ultra 3. So all we have are obviously the same waypoint, flow, and exactograph ones. Nothing else new there. And then also, if you were to jump into the watch, there's still no new gestures, no new flicks, no new anything in that regard. So really right off the bat, guys, we will keep this short and sweet and let you know this is simply an under the hood bug fix improvement and is definitely going to be not a lot of user facing changes here. You can see us scrolling right through, checking everything around, switching it up. Everything's working like you would hope and anticipate. Jumping into some of our other widgets here, they're working. If you were on beta 1, like I said, battery life was good, performance was good, but there was definitely a discrepancy between the official watchOS 26 build and the 26.1 build, where this battery life was not quite on par with that. Hopefully this brings it back to that area. Now also, if you jump into the developer website here, you will see this has actually been updated, and if you scroll down a little ways, you will see watchOS 26.1 beta 2 is listed, and when you go into release notes, really backing what we're talking about here, there is one health kit resolved issue, one known issue, and then a resolved Swift UI issue, and that's it. That is the extent of beta 2 here. Again, not too much, which is very surprising for a big .1 release. Nothing else is actually showing up here. This was actually the same if you were to follow our other videos for iOS as well. This actually is the first time it's updated. It didn't say beta 2 earlier, but you can see a couple of resolved issues, a couple of known issues still. Nearby interaction has a known or new issue, a new feature, but that's it. There is still nothing major to discuss in regards to this beta. Now, moving on beyond this though, everyone wants to know when the official release date will be. Everyone wants to know how battery life will be. We will touch on battery life in our next video midweek. But for now, let's talk about release schedule. Since this did come out 2 weeks after the original beta dropped on the 29th, as anticipated, traditionally we would expect another beta to be 2 weeks from today on the 20th or so, but since this is already a build, it is very possible we get another beta next week on the 13th. That'll be nice to see because with the new iPads and Macs that are rumored to be announced in Apple's October announcements, that will want to be running iOS 26.1 most likely, or not even iOS. It would be iPadOS and macOS, but as you know with their numbering systems and all that going forward, it will all be 26.1 regardless of the OS that it's on. What is interesting here is this actually has watchOS actually does have a higher build with a beta 2 with that D numbering. E is what iOS has for this go around. So it is very interesting that they don't match for the first time in a little while since iOS 26 has really come out. There's been a couple of times it has, or it has not, but most of the times it has. Like I said, jumping around into gestures and everything, nothing new here still. It's all the same. Unfortunately, Double Tap hasn't learned any new features. And again, I don't want to drag this video out, guys. It's a little disappointing, and I apologize if this video seems kind of rushed or stressed, but it's just crazy that Apple is just now dropping, new hardware, a couple of new watch faces here, but not a ton of new features in all of these betas. These betas And these next releases are what we're going to, obviously be using for years on end. And Apple not adding or really tweaking any of these features on these watches is a little frustrating, especially if you're one of those new consumers who spent $700, $800 on these new watches for it just to be stagnant. So it's a good reminder to always remember to buy the hardware for what it does today, not what it's promised in the future or what it is capable of doing. So that's it for this one, guys. Hopefully Beta 3 will be some more new features brought to the table, but for now, this is what we got. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one. Peace.